Hello and welcome to the Valley. Today I am your host, Janet Michael. It is Extension Office Friday. We are back on the Zooms today with Joanne Royalty. She is an associate extension agent based in the Frederick County office, but serves all 5 of our surrounding counties. Joanne is also an extension master gardener. She's brought 2 others with her today. Carole Belkin is joining us along with Barbara Bosserman. We're going to talk about the indoor plant clinic coming up at Bowman Library. We're going to talk about the seed exchange, all of the cool, fun things that extension master gardeners are involved in throughout the year. But Carole, I want to start with you because the indoor plant clinic is at the end of January. So we really need to start thinking about what we want to know and which plants we want to save before that clinic pops up on our calendars.
Let me start by giving you a little bit of information. First of all, this is a one-day event. So you definitely want to mark your calendars for Saturday, January the 31st. The event's going to be held at Bowman Library in Stevens City, and it's from 10 until 2 o'clock. We normally have this the first weekend in February because Bowman Library is very smart. They coordinate this with Groundhog Day. So they're just doing it a Saturday earlier this year. So that's why we've got the January 31st date. But this is a one-day event, and the purpose is to educate the public about how to care for and maintain healthy houseplants. We have a pretty full agenda. This is my 3rd year doing the Bowman Plant Clinic. It's very, very well attended. Extension Master Gardeners will be there to answer any questions that the public may have about houseplants, houseplant diseases. The people that usually attend are library patrons, but it's open to the public, so whoever wants to come in the doors can. Last year, we had a little over 200 attend the plant clinic. We also do a children's table. If you remind me, I'll talk about that a little bit later. We do a children's event on horticultural education in the lobby. We had over 125 children, very young children, participate because, again, they're there to see the groundhog, so we catch them too. We also have lectures going on throughout the day. I want to give everyone an idea of what it looks like when you walk into Bowman, what you're going to see when you go into the plant clinic. So we have a very, very large room. It's in the front of the building. And when you walk in, there's going to be tables set up everywhere. Our Extension Master Gardeners have donated their houseplants. There are cuttings. Last year, I think we had over 25 different houseplants. Some will be potted. Some are still in water, trying to make roots. And what you would do, Janet, is you're going to go, oh, this is great. Houseplants. So you're going to start going through tables and tables of houseplants. Extension Master Gardeners are going to be behind the table, and you're going to say, what's this? Does it need sun? Does it need light? I have one like it. It has a disease. So we're just going to be engaging in just typical conversations about houseplants. As you go through the line, we're encouraging you to select 2 or 3 or 4 houseplant cuttings that you like. We'll discuss them with you. We will refer you to a next table over where we are going to help you pick out a pot, the right pot. And also there's different soil. So you're going to take your plants, your plant cuttings, you're going to go over to a potting table, you're going to pick out your pot, and then we're going to help you with the right soil. An Extension Master Gardener is going to be there to help you pot your plant. You can stay and go through some of the different presentations and lectures that we have. Most people are just so excited. They have something to take home. They have a free plant to take home. Many are return visitors. They tell us, oh, I was here last year. And last year I got a snake plant or mother-in-law's tongue, whatever you want to call it. And it's doing so well. And they'll pull out their phones and show us a picture of it and how it's doing.
It's such a valuable resource because several years ago, houseplants had a moment. COVID, I think, was one of those things where people suddenly wanted to have more plants in their house. And so they were buying them left and right, but didn't necessarily know how to take care of them. This is a great way to find out, are you overwatering or is it getting too much sun? We were talking before we started recording my Christmas cactus. I realized that I was keeping it in the sunroom and it gets too cold in there at night. So I had to find a different place for it. And I wouldn't have known that if I hadn't mentioned to an extension master gardener, hey, I've got this issue.
Right.
This is a great resource for our community.
Yeah, it is. We will have handouts available. And of course, we're trying to get in with the technology. So we're going to have QR codes. We'll have a picture of the plant. And then, of course, they can snap on it if they want some more information on their phone. Our Frederick County Ask a Master Gardener will be there. We're there for our area residents. So they may have gardening issues, or they may want to talk about what happened to their summer garden, how to prepare for the spring garden. In this area in Frederick County, which I love this area, if you play your cards right, you can actually have a spring, summer, and fall garden. I do, but you need to know exactly when to plant, when not to plant, and so many other things. With the Ask a Master Gardener help desk, we get a lot of calls about so many things: trees, shrubs, diseases, invasive plants. And of course, now there's a big thing on wildlife and how to create wildlife habitat, especially in the wintertime. There's things that we should be doing to help our wildlife survive, especially in this bitter cold. So having the Ask a Master Gardener table there, I think is going to be very helpful. Sharon McClellan, who helps with Master Gardener, she's also going to be doing a presentation. Speaking of presentations, I'm still lining things up. So far, we have someone who's going to be doing a pruning workshop. There's a little room right next to where we'll be, and it's closed off with a partition, and it holds about 55 people. So every 45 minutes, we will have a series of presentations going on. So again, we have one on pruning, how to prune your plants. And I got to tell you, I've got a lot of plants sitting next to me that need to be pruned.
It's a confusing thing for a lot of people, is they're not sure when to do it or how much to actually prune.
And it's not just that, but after you prune, what do you do with the plant? Do you put it in water? Do you use root tone? Do you go ahead and plant it? What type of soil do you use? So there's a whole lot to the pruning process. We also have someone who's going to be talking about propagation. Again, that's a big thing with us. Actually, I kind of put in another little plug for Bowman Library. We have something called Nature Surprises. And in January, it's always held on the second Thursday of each month. It's a children's program. And what we're going to be teaching the children, it's at 5:00, is we're going to be teaching them propagation. So I'll be bringing in a lot of houseplants. I will be showing the children how to propagate them. And we will be using these plants for the plant clinic. So the children's
awesome.
program is actually going to be helping us with the plants that we're going to have available for the plant clinic. So yeah, it kind of works together.
You mentioned earlier you're going to have kids' activities there at the indoor plant clinic as well.
We do. Our children's table is going to be set up in the lobby. When the children come in, they have one thing in mind: seeing that groundhog. So usually we hit them either on the way in or on the way out the door, because they're coming in. Again, this is a big family event. You've got mom, dad, kids, grandpa, aunts, uncles. You've got the whole shebang there. So it's a really fun event. But I don't know what our activity is going to be for children, but it's specifically designed for the younger child. And it's a quick little activity where they're going to be making something. And again, the whole point is to make something and they can take it home and they can watch it grow and they can nurture it and water it and try to plant the seed early so we get more extension master gardeners. Right. So that will be, the children's program will be in the lobby. The other thing that the library does, Bowman Library is so great. I've been working with them for so many years. They will have a table with a lot of resources and books on houseplants. They're available for checkout. It's great because the people are coming from the plant clinic. They've got their little plant. Their children's have their little plant. And the children can come back into the room as well, and they can make other houseplants. It's just so exciting to see their little faces when they say, oh, I can make a plant? And we're like, sure, come over to the table, pick yourself out a pot and some soil and plant it up.
And there's no pre-registration. There's no fee to attend any of that.
Nothing. You just walk through the door. That's all. Saturday, January the 31st from 10 to 2. It's a one-time event to educate the public on how to care for houseplants. I think what I love most is the stories of people that have come back or people that have a house plant and they want to show us pictures of how big it is. When we welcome them to bring in their own cuttings as well. I don't know how specific you want to get about soil or pots, but let me just say in a nutshell that if it is in the cactus family, you do not want to use potting soil. Cactus soil is your best. For certain plants like your snake plant or mother-in-law tongue, I won't give you the scientific name because most people know the other name. I always prefer not using plastic pots, but using terracotta because you want to avoid that root rot that sometimes they get by overwatering. So if you're using cactus soil and you're using a terracotta pot, your mother-in-law tongue, snake plants, they're one of my favorite. In fact, I got to tell you, Janet, when you walk into the library in the lobby, there are 2 enormous snake plants. They're probably about 5 feet tall.
Wow.
Last year, they were so overgrown that the library asked us if we would repot them. We found out that the plants were 20 years old. They had never repotted the snake plants. So not only did we repot them, we also took a lot of the plants and donated them to other places. I think I gave some to my daughter and gave her one for Christmas time. But yeah, those snake plants in the library are 20 years old, and we repotted
Wow.
them for them.
That is
They're great
crazy.
plants. They'll live on and on forever. But again, this is a fun event. If they're going to be there anyway to get books or to visit with the groundhog, it's a fun day to learn all about houseplants and leave with some houseplants.
Let's take a break. Before we do, Barbara, can you tease everyone with the seed exchange?
Certainly. We are hosting a seed exchange. It's a free event. All the public is welcome. And it's actually the following weekend after the Bowman Library event. It will be in Clark County. We're going to have more information on that when we return.
Perfect.
Okay.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to continue our conversation for Extension Office Friday. Barbara Bosserman is going to give us all the details about the seed exchange happening on February 7th. We're going to come back and learn about those in just a couple of minutes.
Okay. I don't think Janet knows I'm recording this. She just stepped away to get another cup of coffee, so here's my chance. Hey everyone, it's Andy from the United Way of the Northern Shenandoah Valley. And yes, Janet, if you're hearing this, surprise. We're still celebrating the Valley Today's 2500th episode and this awesome community fundraiser you came up with. Here's the deal. Between now and the end of the year, it's Janet's goal to raise $2,500 to support the great work of the nonprofits in this community. If you give just $25 or more, you're going to be entered into a chance to be a guest on the show with Janet. If you give $250 or more, we'll make you a commercial just like this one that will air on the Valley Today podcast. So go to givebutter.com/The Valley Today right now before Janet realizes that I've hijacked her airtime. She's walking back in, cup of coffee in hand, gotta go. Remember to donate between now and the end of the year and support the great work of so many nonprofits and celebrate 2,500 episodes of The Valley Today.
Welcome back to the Valley Today. I am your host, Janet Michael. It is Extension Office Friday, and we are talking to Extension Master Gardeners today about a couple of events that they've got coming up in the new year. In the first segment, Carole gave us all the details for the indoor plant clinic happening at Bowman Library on January 31st from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. Barbara Bosserman is also on the Zooms with us. She is co-leading the seed exchange happening on February 7th in a new location this year, Barbara. It's at the Clark County Fairgrounds.
It is a new location. We're back in Clark County, which is great. We've had the seed exchange in Clark County for many years. Last year, it was held in Strasburg at the Strasburg High School, but we talked about it. And in the past, it had been at Blandy, so we decided to bring it back to Clark. So the Rueton Fairgrounds, we're going to have the two big buildings there, the Rueton, the main building, which will hold about 150 people, and then the new remodeled horticultural building that will hold about 150 people also. So we're going to set up in the main building. When you come in, you can bring seeds in with you. If you bring seeds, you get more free seeds to take home with you. You can bring your seeds in. We will sort those seeds and then put them out on tables. And then you can go around to all the different tables that are set up and you can pick out seeds that you would like to have. So we have different categories of seeds. We'll have vegetables, we'll have annuals and herbs, and then we'll have perennials. We will also have some roots, and then we'll have trees, cuttings. We'll also have an Ask a Master Gardener, just like the indoor plant. So we're going to have a lot of experts there to answer any questions that you might have about the seeds that you want to sow. And then we're also going to have demonstrations. So we'll have winter sowing, indoor hydroponics, water plants, and raised beds. So we're going to have master gardeners who will demonstrate those for us.
I'm converting everything to a raised bed in my house.
I have a lot of raised beds too. And these guys they're super smart and they know what to tell you to do to how to get your plants to grow. They're excellent master gardeners. Along with them, we're going to have other tables set up. So Blandy's going to be there and they're going to be giving out native plant seeds. The Museum of the Shenandoah Valley, they have harvested seeds from their sunflowers. So they will hand out those seeds. And Clark County actually in October became a Bee City USA affiliate. So the Bee City USA committee is going to be there and they're going to talk about the pollinator plants that support our native bees. So they will have a table. The litter committee will be there. Clark County 4-H is going to have a table there with their students who they're going to hand out some information on what they do. And the Clark County FFA, they have seeds left over from where they did some plantings. So they're going to have their students there to help just to give out the seeds.
I love that you've expanded it and now have other groups that are
Yes.
going to be there. That means even if you're not necessarily interested in the seeds, there's still a reason to come and walk around that day.
Exactly. And every table will be manned by an extension master gardener. So if you have questions on the seeds that you're picking up, they will be able to answer it. When do I plant these seeds? What kind of soil do I put these seeds in? Do they need to be sown over the winter? Or are they spring? Do they come back every year? So really well-experienced, well-versed master gardeners who can answer those questions.
When you mentioned earlier, I can bring seeds that I have harvested from my coneflowers, for example,
Correct.
or my butterfly weed that I've gotten. But there is a list of plant seeds that you do not want, invasive plants that you
We
do
are.
not want people rolling up in there saying, hey, have some of this.
We are definitely asking that you do not bring invasive plant seeds, but you may not know that. So our master gardeners there will be able to determine if it is an invasive plant seed. And we'll just set those aside. We're not going to turn people away. Maybe give them a little more information before they leave, but it is a free event. You don't even have to bring seeds. You're welcome to come. Seeds will be there for you to take home with you, but it's always so much fun to share. We find that people love to bring their seeds and then talk to us a little bit about how they grew those plants and everything.
I think gardening in general, and Joanne and I have talked about this a lot over the years on the show, gardening in general tends to make friends out of people that probably would not have ever been friends otherwise.
And I agree with you. We also have a table that we set up at the Clark County Farmers Market. I learned so much from the people who come to my table just to get information on things. And we just have the unique conversation about, well, we tried this. And I have learned so much from people coming to ask me questions. It's a unique situation.
I love that you set up at the farmers markets. Clark County Farmers Market in particular is my favorite farmers market of all of the ones in the area. I catch a fair amount of grief because I say that a lot
Thank
during
you.
farm market season, but there's just so many cool things at Clark County's farmers market. I love that the extension master gardeners are typically at a lot of those as well.
We like getting out into the public. And of course, we always have information on how to become an extension master gardener. People pick those up and they said, this is what I really want to do.
It is mind boggling. I have been coming for years and it still is shocking to walk in and see all of the seeds everywhere.
Kathy Holcomb is my co-lead, and Kathy has been working to get the seeds donated. She's been working with Extension Master Gardeners to package seeds from their gardens. And also she's been contacting the vendors like Lowe's and Home Depot. They have been donating seeds that would typically just be thrown away. We have a huge amount of seeds to share with the public. And I think at Strasburg last year, they had well over 300 people coming to that event. And normally at Blandy, there was close to 300. So we're looking to have 300 or more people coming. And we have enough seeds to share with everyone.
Do you have activities for the kids?
Yes, we do have an activity that when the children come in, they will be given a sheet of paper and then they will go around to each table and they can get a stamp. And once they get a stamp that fills in all their little grids, then they do get a little prize when they leave. And they can ask questions and the master gardeners will work with the children and help them learn about seeds. We'll give them seeds too.
Joanne, you and I have joked about that over the years too, is that you're literally growing your own crop, so to speak, of master gardeners when you include kid activities in all of these events.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So what's happening in the extension world?
Oh, a lot's going on. This is typically the time when you and I would be talking about the new class, growing that new crop of master gardeners. But we have some sad news and some exciting news around that topic. Because we're in the process of hiring a new consumer horticulture agent for the region, we will not be doing the class when we typically do in January and February. This new agent, which we hope will be coming on board in January, will be doing some of the same things that I have done, which is to manage the Extension Master Gardener program in the Northern Shenandoah Valley. So we thought it's probably not very fair to them on their first day to say, guess what? You're going to be doing the class in January. So we're going to leave that decision for a little bit later in the year so that they can come on board and get to know everyone. So the bad news is we won't have the class when we normally do. The good news is we've got a great new person coming on board who will be making a decision about the class for 2026. So please stay tuned. Reach out to us. We will be providing updates as they become available. And hopefully, Janet, you'll have time to bring the new person on board for one of these shows in the new year. We do so much education and outreach through our Extension Master Gardeners. And so many of them get tired of me saying, we are all VCE, meaning we are all Virginia Cooperative Extension. I am sitting in my office in Winchester, Virginia. There is no way that I could do everything out in these 5 counties. The only way Extension can do the things that we need to do to improve the well-being of our community residents is through the work that our Extension Master Gardeners do. So they're always there. You've heard these ladies talk. They're always helping and doing and creating community. The other thing I'd like to remind folks is on the internet, there is so much information you can find. And you and I have talked about homegrown remedies, and we don't go there. But anytime you have a question around horticulture, you can find a lot of information simply by typing into your search bar, Virginia Tech Publications. Once you get there, you can click on a wealth of topics, anything from holiday plants to 4-H, to natural resources, family support and community and lawn and garden. So that is an easy online resource that is research-based, which is what we do at Extension. Through staff and volunteers, we provide research-based information to help you address and manage any of the concerns around gardening, horticulture, etc. As Carole and Barbara referenced, the Ask a Master Gardener tables that will be at our events, those folks also are in our offices, and you can go online and find their hours. I know in Frederick County, we are staffed year-round on Wednesdays. We have both in-person opportunities on Wednesdays from 10 until about 12:30, but other extension offices also have in-person, online. They will return calls. Always keep that in mind, that you have lots of resources to address those kinds of issues. And then the last thing I guess I wanted to talk about was those holiday plants that you get. We all get those wonderful gifts, the poinsettias and cactus. And I don't know about you, Janet, but when I used to get Christmas cactus, I had this really sad problem. It would start blooming in November. And I never could understand why. And this was before I became a master gardener. I was like, there's something wrong with my plant or me. What am I doing wrong? And by the time the end of December came, there was no bud. There was nothing on it. And I was really disappointed. I just did not know what was going on. But did you know that there's actually three kinds of cactus that are around the holidays? There's the Thanksgiving cactus, which, oh, by the way, that's probably what I had. And there is the Christmas cactus, and then there's the Easter cactus. A lot of what we see for sale right now, starting in right after Halloween, it seems, is the Thanksgiving cactus and then the Christmas cactus. And I never could tell them apart. Do you know how to tell them apart?
I don't.
So if you want to be sure that yours is a Thanksgiving cactus, and then don't worry that there's something wrong with you because it's blooming ahead of time, they have a clawed edge to their leaves. So they almost look like spikes on their leaves. Whereas if you have a true Christmas cactus, theirs are more scalloped edges. They're more refined. Their flowers are both very similar. They're tubular, but the Thanksgiving really have the points or the clawed edges. So for those who have those kind of pointy edges, it's okay if they start blooming in November. Don't worry anymore. At least
I just thought I was an overachiever.
Yeah, that's it. And then by the time you get to Easter, they're pretty laid back. They have rounded edges on their leaves, and their flowers are very distinct. They have spiked flowers as opposed to tubular flowers. So that's just an easy way to tell them apart. I like them because they don't require a lot of water, and they don't necessarily require repotting in the same schedule that we would want to do other plants. They actually like to be nice and cozy and together and a little bit root bound. The most important thing, the most problems we get are people overwatering them or keeping them, as we discussed earlier, in too cold of a room. So if you can keep them at a nice, comfortable temperature and don't overwater them, that's always a good thing. The other thing I like to say is we keep calling them cactus, but they're actually not. They're succulents, and they're native to the rainforest in Brazil. And when I first started learning about them, I learned that they are a type of plant called an epiphyte, and they live in the wild, and they live on other plants, like a semi-vampire plant, if you will. And so they derive their nutrients from the other plants and from the surrounding soil, debris, and air and water, which I thought was really cool. And maybe that's why they're so easy to grow for us.
That's true. It's got to be why mine's still alive.
So lots going on. And as I listened to both Barbara and Carole, it just made me so proud, not only of them, but of all of our Extension Master Gardeners who give so much time, treasure, and talent and passion to what they're doing, and it benefits all of us. It's a special calling, and I'm sure glad that we have these folks on board.
Thank you for pulling them both together to chat with me today. I do appreciate it.
Absolutely. Anytime. We love to showcase all the talent we have. And every time we do this, we learn more about each other.
Carole, thank you for giving me all the details for the indoor plant clinic at Bowman Library. I appreciate your time today.
I certainly enjoyed it. Thank you, Janet.
And Barbara, I'm looking forward to Seed Exchange. I love me some free seeds.
We will look for you there, and we will have plenty of free seeds for everyone.
I will be back on Monday with a brand new episode of The Valley Today. If you're looking for something to do this weekend, though, Cookie Crawl happening in Old Town Winchester. On the other end of the Shenandoah Valley, Hometown Holidays is happening in downtown Woodstock. Jen Duffner gave me all the details for that earlier in the week, but I'll put links to both of those events. Have a great weekend, and I will meet you back here on Monday just a few minutes after noon.